That's it. That's all I got now.
You know who's really good at that?
Nine till the bottom.
Funk stoners will tell you, oh, it's 11 minutes till 4:20. Or it's like, it was 4:20 18 minutes ago, people. Come on. You're late.
That's, that's kind of old school. And, like, I think people, I'm not sure if people really do that anymore. And news stations do sometimes. But I think part of the reason why you've given that up is because, well, everybody knows what the hell the time is. They just look at their phones.
There's a clock everywhere now, yeah.
Yeah, it like tells you the weather. It tells you what the weather's gonna be. It tells you what time it is. Yeah. It's like, and so like people that do that, it is kind of an old school sort of like port cigars, Ron Burgundy, leather-bound books type of thing to do. And it's classy as all hell, but it's never been. I've been doing radio for like 10 years, and no one's ever asked me once to do the time and temp.
We've had phones for that long, I think.
Yeah.
Right. See,
I just remember as a kid being able to see the time everywhere I went. Like, there would be, outside the bank, there would be a big sign, digital clock that would tell you the time, like... And now it's everywhere. I understand. I get it.
And I bitch all the time about how we got into radio right as all the fun and money went out of it. And it's true. Like, we got into radio during the digital age when things started to radically change. And the future looks bright. And the past was amazing. But we're right here in the middle of a time that I affectionately refer to as a giant bag of suck. So maybe if we sort of maybe if we went backwards and started doing... Funkhauser, can we start doing the time and temp every single morning?
80 on the radio news time, 9:23.
There you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's complaint number 1.
7 till the bottom.
Oh, good.
I'm just going to spend the rest of the show complaining, and then you just address those complaints.
All right. We'll get to more of Concept 714's complaints about the show after we wrap up the news. Funkhauser, what's going on in the world?
Well, AD, Hulu closed a deal allowing them to stream every single episode of Seinfeld.
Well, thank God. Because, I was getting tired of having to turn on my television at any point of any day and watch Seinfeld reruns. But you know what's funny? Like, I'm a huge Seinfeld fan, and I actually have, like, the collected DVD box set that came with the books and came with sort of, like, all these different addendums and came with the director's cuts and things like that. I have all that. Seinfeld is syndicated across every single television station on the face of the planet, yet... I'm almost considering purchasing Hulu Plus so I could watch Seinfeld on there. It's just it's a weird and unhealthy thing. I am a super Seinfeld fan.
Were you around when it was like new on TV, or were you overseas?
No, I was overseas and they had it there, but I didn't start becoming a fan of Seinfeld until after it was over and done with. Like, it's funny, I remember it being over and done with because I was in New York City that day, and I was out to dinner with a friend, and we remember looking around and going, why are the streets empty? Like, why? This is New York City. Why is there not a single soul out? And they're like, oh, it's the last episode of Seinfeld today. And I was like, holy crap. That's crazy. And like, to me, Seinfeld was sort of like old people stuff. I didn't get it. And then years later, when I had really, really bad insomnia.
When you became an old person?
When I became, when I started caring about getting to sleep, because I'd always had insomnia, but when you're living the crazy ne'er-do-well merry-go-round existence of a guy in a band, you don't care about when you fall asleep. But when I started having jobs and stuff, I couldn't fall asleep, and a buddy of mine gave me every single episode of Seinfeld on VCR, with all the commercials edited out. And I like that because I never messed with DVDs. I thought they were clunky and scratchy and annoying, and they always skipped. And I went straight from VCR to TiVo. So, but he gave me every single episode of Seinfeld to put on, and I wound up watching it every single night because the theme music on Seinfeld is quiet and innocuous and doesn't wake you up as you're trying to fall asleep. So I started falling asleep to Seinfeld, and during that falling asleep to Seinfeld time, I realized what an incredible work of absolute genius it was. And so I only became like this Seinfeld superfan after the show was over. And it was really weird because in hindsight, when I first came to America, I don't know if you remember, but when I first came to America, Jerry Seinfeld had been dating this chick who was like way, way, way younger than him. And I had she was a friend of a friend, and I met her one night, and they're like, yo, I don't think she'd do you, but she'd totally hook up with you. I was like, that's okay, that's fine. And years later, I don't look back on my life and say I made many mistakes, but not hooking up with Jerry Seinfeld's ex-girlfriend was a huge mistake, because anything that sort of like raises me to a Seinfeldian level would have been awesome.
Like John Voight's pencil?
Anything. What? Anything. The John Voight LeBaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Anyways.
The soup Nazi was always my favorite, though.
Dude.
No soup for you!
No, I ate in New York at the actual Soup Nazi place. It was like it was a real thing, and it was based. And he wasn't a fan of Seinfeld, because no one really likes being called a Nazi.
Yeah.
But I went and I got soup from the Soup Nazi, and he didn't yell at me or anything. But like after I ordered, he's like, "Move to the left, please." And I was like, "Ah!" The Soup Nazi yelled at me.
You did it.
It was pretty cool. And by the way, they really were right. The soup that I got from the Soup Nazi was delicious. And it came with like a little healthy, like it was all natural, all fresh, and it came with a little snack pack with like, you got your soup, and then you got an apple, and then you got like a piece of fresh bread that they baked there. It was great.
Goodness. Yeah.
So good.
Hey, D, true story, that tipping incident, that's happened to me before. You know what I'm talking about?
Which tipping?
Which
one?
Where I would tip someone enough times, like I would go to a coffee shop, right? This little mom and pop. And I would tip them every once in a while, but they would never see me tip them. And I kid you not, they saw me reach back for my tip as I was, so that they would be, so that they saw me tip them. Like I was like, man, I'm never getting any credit for tipping them,
Oh,
and she caught me in mid hand, literally with my hand in the cookie jar.
Oh.
And she looks at me and gives me this look like, what are you doing? Kind of look.
You're like, I was taking it out so I could re-tip you and you would notice.
Yeah, but you sound like a maniac trying to explain that to them,
I've run into that exact problem myself, and this is what I do. I always make a point of, because I always pay on a credit card, I always try and amass the points so I can, fly cheaper when I go visit relatives at Christmas or something like that. But I always try and tip in cash because, I know there's a better chance the servers are going to get that. But what I always make a point of doing is if I've got anything, I could have a stack of ones in my wallet, but if I've got anything larger than a one, I'll be like, oh, do you have change? And they'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I'll get them to make change of my 10 so I can very purposefully put in the $1 or $2 into the tip jar so they notice, because I don't want them, I don't want to just put the one in and not get the credit for it. I mean, what the hell is the point of doing anything good in this world if people aren't going to kiss your ass for it? None, I tell you, none.
Are we bad people, AD?
We're not the best.
Okay, all right.
80 on the radio news time, 9:29.
See how much better the show is now?
Michelle Obama and Hootie will each make appearances on tonight's Late Show with David Letterman.
Yeah. It's part of CBS's plan to confuse old people into thinking Hootie and President Obama are the same person. For the news and get to what's going on Concept 714's Wake the Flock Up podcast presently. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, it's a new one. Here I come again, coming again, taking it back to the place where I'm picking up the pen. And before I started, it's already a killer. When you know that you're good, I gotta say that it's a thriller. Hey, I do it my way, bitch. Taking advantage of the gift, we gotta make it and pay to play. So what do you say, bitch? What do you say? Is it that what I did just blew you away? I'm ripping you up, tearing you down, checking it out. Gonna be making a kick, cause that's what I am all about. I got clout, and I don't have to shout it, but I will cause I can help that I am buzzing about it. Check what I say, I only do it my way. Check what I say, I only do it my way. That's the way we do what we do. That's the way we do what we do. That's the way we do what we do. We do what we do. I'm running and jumping so I can say that I am giving it all that I got just to make you slam. I said what sham? There ain't no sham. Just let's beat to your feet from the fat fucking jam. My oh my, I gotta say I defy anybody to be asking me the reason why I do what I do with this fucking fat crew. You're hearing it now, and it's gotta be getting through to you. Pumping it up just a little bit more, cause now is the time that I even the score. So just look around, there's no calm to be found as you move to the sound of the jam and you slam and I play. I only do it my way. I only do it my way. foul. Digging ditches for bitches, I'm causing miles of smiles. Building bridges to riches while spitting venom and vile. Not stacking piles of papers, but yo, I think I will in a while. The world will wake up to this modern kind of style. I bring a portion of proper accolades and fortune will be smiling upon what I do and the things that I say. A renaissance of thought leading us all to brighter days. So I don't believe that you're as stupid as what they tell me, and I do believe that we're beyond the mediocrity, monopoly of our conformity of the way we're taught. The despondency, dishonesty, the cacophonous bureaucracy. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. Man, sometimes it's just so hard to be a good person, to lift yourself up and try and be that better version of all the potential people you got living in your mind. It takes more than happy chance and circumstance. You gotta decide that you're gonna keep your head up, treat people how you wanna be treated, hold doors and be polite, try not to be conceited. But sometimes, kinda sorta all the times it seems it's true, it's harder than anything else to observe that golden rule, especially when everybody you meet seems like a freaking tool, and it seems like everyone's got a whole lot of chlorine in their gene pool. Sometimes I get angry, I tell everyone to bite me, especially on days when the universe is trying to spite me. I think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Think to myself, I'm better than that. Better than that, better than that. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done, I can say I had some fun. I'm just trying to be the best that I can be. So when my time is done.
Go ahead, favorite the show and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Alrighty then, Funkhauser. Let's roll through some news, and then we'll get to what's going on with Concept 714 on Wake the Flock Up. And if you're just joining us, we are honored to be joined in the studio by Concept 714, host of Wake the Flock Up, the preeminent hip-hop podcast in the world.
You should be honored. You should be.
Yeah. He's good. He's also been good enough to share with us his list of top complaints about our show. Problem number one, we don't do enough old-timey radio
Number
stuff
one.
like the time and temp.
Problem 103.
That was a former problem.
Yeah, oh, exactly.
80 on the radio news time, 9:35.
Okay.
Alrighty then, what's going on, Funkhauser?
Chris Evans says Captain America is probably a virgin.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Captain America? Unlikely. Now, the hundreds of guys who dress like Captain America every year at Comic-Con, I think that's a bit of a safer bet when it comes to the virginity sweepstakes.
Captain America's a virgin? That's terrible.
Well, you got to think about it. Like, he was a scrawny weakling, right? He was a scrawny weakling, and then he got turned into the super soldier. Then he got shipped off to the war, and then he got frozen in a block of ice for years and years. And then the moment he woke up...